Well, good morning to you and welcome. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. It is a Monday. Nice to have you with us. And it is not yet tax day. Not yet. Tomorrow will be tax day because the 15th, April 15th, normal tax day, fell on the weekend. 15th fell on the weekend. And today is a holiday in Washington, D.C. And so tomorrow is the official day you must have your taxes filed. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, we're going to learn about the Saginaw River Headwaters Restoration Project with Keenan-Lechel. Rocket Grab Plus on Focus. But for the first part of this hour, we're going to say good morning to State Representative Amos O'Neal. Good morning to you, Representative O'Neal.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
We're doing well. Hope you are too.
Yeah.
So,
snow right now.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Michigan. I mean, can't do much about that in the legislature, can you?
No. Mother Nature takes control of everything. So
yeah, it certainly does.
Yeah.
It certainly does. Been a lot of things go through the legislature. We're in a different period now. You're in the party of the majority.
Mm-hmm.
How has that changed the business world in Lansing for you?
Well, I believe whether you're in the majority or the minority, I think having relationships are extremely important to getting things done. And still now, I think that's important because even though we are in the majority, we have a slim majority. So that means at any given time, if you have someone out sick or have an emergency, then you really are not in the majority. So, and we've been trying to operate in that mode in terms of still being bipartisan, still building and maintaining and working with those key relationships that we've started. Speaker Tate really was a great leader in the minority and now in the majority. So he's also signaled that. And, I think that's the most important part. You got to work together regardless of your status. And that's been my attitude. That's my attitude now today in terms of, working across the aisle with my colleagues to get things done for our Great Lakes Bay region and the state.
How is that going to impact the budget?
Well, as you know, we've made some major investments in EV and, supporting various developments, the most recent with Ford over in Marshall, and just trying to stay competitive in terms of our position in the global market, the global field, in terms of competing and making sure we have the site preparations, infrastructure that a lot of these mega sites need. And so that's been a lot of work. Even our local Saginaw Futures team and MEDC, understand how important that is to be competitive. And so we've extended some funds actually toward those ends. And when Ford left the first time, and my colleague Senator Horn really emphasized, our deficits in terms of not being able to capture Ford when they left to Tennessee, I believe.
Yes.
And so from that point on, I know while he was still in the Senate, he worked hard with MEDC and with us to kind of set the landscape for us to be ready with SOAR funds to attract and maintain those major companies in the state of Michigan.
Well, let me ask this, Amos, because Michigan came out of the pandemic with a budget surplus, and most of that due to the fact that the federal government pumped in billions of dollars.
Right.
What happens when that federal money runs out? What's the state budget going to look like again?
Well, there was already a slight forecast of recession leaving last term. And so, that really put a caution on us not to, be overly zealous and, for example, taking those federal dollars and attaching them to projects that you can't sustain after that fact. And so we've been very, very, aware of not doing that. So that helps. We've just been trying to do some major structural infrastructure projects that will be one-timers, capital projects, infrastructure projects, investments in future technologies. And so, we've really been trying to be mindful of the fact that, the coffers won't be always full like they are today. And we got to be smart, we got to be strategic, and not just kind of be, if you will, knee-jerkish in terms of trying to respond to everything that comes up. So we just can't do it.
Is that feeling shared on both sides of the aisle?
It definitely is, Art. And, we also in that same spirit of being aware of that, we've been trying to lessen the burden on the taxpayers as well. Working with our colleagues on the other side, they had some tax proposals, and we as well trying to put more dollars back into hands of the average working person. We did some slight tax breaks. We did the earned income tax credit piece, and so just trying to balance out the equation. We do a lot of investment in major industry, but we can't forget about Main Street. The average citizen that's working hard every day to try to make it ends meet. Everything's gone up. I was at the grocery store about a week ago, and it shocked me when I at Meijer, I grabbed a dozen of eggs, and it said $7.99. I said, "Whoa!" And it was like a shock. Then I went down to a lesser amount. It was like $4.99. So just think about the average citizen who's working, raising a family. Not only gas is high, food is high, and so that's a strain on the family. And just trying to decide, do I, spend this extra $20 on something else other than basic needs and necessities, or do I, most cases decide to make sure we have gas in the car, food on the tables, and so tax relief is very important. So and then not trying to raise taxes as well is very important to keep dollars into the pockets of our working family.
But correct me if I'm wrong, this tax break is only good for a year.
Yes, that's true. And so we got to be smart about it. We've been talking already on both sides in terms of, how do we move forward in a way that's not going to drastically reduce our coffers, but how can we, as a state legislature, do things that's going to be creative and supportive to the working families.
All right, hang on. I got to take a break. We're talking to State Representative Amos O'Neal. We'll be back with Amos after these notes on WSGW, and let us see if we can give away some money. Time to play WSGW's Baseball Bucks, presented by Westside Decorating Center. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering this baseball word online at WSGW.com. The word this hour is Padres, as in the San Diego Padres, Padres. This is an Alpha Media Company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Baseball Bucks presented by Westside Decorating Center on WSGW.
Hi, I'm Jim Blau, owner of Mid-Michigan Canine Academy. As most of you know already, our Redemption Crew has the most effective dog training methods in Michigan, transforming hundreds of dogs and families' lives each year. But you may not know about our premier boarding, day camp, and grooming services. Aren't you tired of booking out for weeks to get your dog cleaned, clipped, and looking sharp? We're taking on new clients, have immediate availabilities, even on Sundays. Book online at mid-michigancanineacademy.com. That's mid-michigancanineacademy.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. We want you to join us on the Core Ale Rocks Pub Crawl in Midland. It's on Thursday, May 11th, and it's only $5. We're taking 2 different limo buses to 5 different bars. 702 Bar, Decker Sports Bar, the Boulevard Lounge, Riders Bar and Grill, and the Auburn Hotel and Tavern. That's only $1 per bar. Make sure you snag your deal right now before they sell out. It's at RocketGrabPlus.com.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Uma?
Yep, switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's merger news this morning. Merck is buying biotech company Prometheus Biosciences for $10.8 billion. Netflix streaming services have been restored after a brief outage late on Sunday during a live stream of the program Love is Blind. Netflix apologized for the glitch. It is to report earnings tomorrow after the Wall Street close. Amazon says its Amazon Web Services cloud business and its Alexa voice assistant service are back up after a brief outage on Sunday. Renault, the French car maker, is reviewing its prices of electric cars worldwide to ensure it stays competitive after Tesla's price cuts. Renault says its sales rose 9% in the first quarter of the year. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
In business, everything your employees do impacts your brand, including what they wear. Cintas has high-performance workplace apparel for almost every job imaginable. From work shirts and pants, to polos and khakis, to Oxfords or T-shirts, these clothes move, breathe, and look great. Your team gets the styles they like, you convey the image you want. And Cintas service includes weekly laundry and delivery. To learn more, visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
General RV is having a factory direct pricing sale. Factory direct. It's all happening April 19th through the 23rd. We want to make it easy for you to get out camping, so we're rolling back prices. They can't get any lower. That means thousands of dollars in savings on motorhomes, travel trailers, fifth wheels, and more. General RV is having a factory direct pricing sale. Only at General RV in Birch Run off I-75.
EasyCater presents We've Got Your Back. Up Singers.
Backup Singers. So I order barbecue for a 20-person client meeting. EasyCater calls and says, "Hi, Sarah, you probably need more food for that many people. Want us to add it for you?"
Doing it for you.
I say, "Yes, please."
Yes.
Turns out they were right. Good thing they asked, because Joyce's meeting notes can be pretty sassy when she's hungry.
Look out.
Client meetings. EasyCater has your back with over 100,000 restaurants. Order 24/7 on EasyCater.com and know
We got your back.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my Outdoor Magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
And we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW as we continue our conversation with State Representative Amos O'Neal. Amos, if we take a look at the current legislation going through relative to guns, do you really feel this legislation will have impact and actually do anything?
Well, a lot of, just tragic things have been going on. Most recent, close to us, in Michigan State University, with those students and individuals loss of life, and those folks who got hurt, and then just all around the country. And so, as legislators, I think it's important for us to try to create opportunities. For example, we had a lot of death with kids, getting their hands on weapons that were not stored safely and not locked. I mean, that's something that's a basic I think all of us, and I am a Second Amendment guy. I love to hunt, fish. I own weapons myself, and you know, I have grandkids that come to my house, and so for me, I have to make sure that my weapons are secured first, unloaded if they're here, and locked. That's just a basic common, you know, sense piece of legislation that I think all of us can support. And then, you know, basic background checks. I mean, you know, when you go to, you know, when I took my, getting ready to go turkey hunting about a week. And so I took my 12 gauge TriStar to Dick Williams gun shop to get it, you know, get the right choke on it and all that. And to make sure it was prepared. So, you know, they asked me, they know me there at Dick's, and they said, Mr. O'Neal, let me see your driver's license. So we have to, you know, still, you know, really.
Yeah, I know it. I understand. I'm laughing because I've, you know, I've got pistols and been through it all.
Yeah, and so I gave my driver's license and no problem. And then they took it and gave it back to me. I said, okay, no problem. So basic common sense, our gun legislation, you know, none of these activities are geared to try to prevent, you know, expressing and being able to exercise your Second Amendment right. That is not the intent or the case of any of these common sense gun pieces that were just introduced. It's just basically trying to get some safeguards in here. You don't want the bad guys getting those weapons, you know, to do things and harm our community. So that was in the mindset of us as legislators to say, okay, how can we stop the bad guys from getting it? Those guys that got some major mental health issues and, you know, have some issues, right?
Therein lies the problem.
Okay, and so that, that's the intent, you know.
If you talk to Doug Williams or Glenn Duncan or Phil Sheridan, any of those guys around here that are FFLs, federal firearms licensees, they'll all tell you the same thing. The hard part is if you go in, you want to buy, let's say you want to buy a handgun, you fill out that federal form. There's only one question on there about your mental health, and if you lie about it, well, so be it.
You got to.
Even though there's a penalty for lying and all of that, the fact is you can skirt the issue. And with HIPAA laws, there's no way for that federal firearms licensee to know whether you have a mental issue or not.
And those are the loopholes. Those are gaps in the background system. Okay.
Yeah.
And those are not geared to try to prevent, you know, any law-abiding, you know, responsible gun owner from exercising their Second Amendment right. You hit the nail on the head, Art. So we have to make sure that, you know, those questions are, you know, revalued and make sure the right questions are asked. You know, you don't get the information you want if you don't have the right questions in any scenario, if you will, to get the information you need. And so that was the intent. And so, you know, it's really a tough spot. You know, as legislators, we are tasked with so many things, and this is really a delicate situation. You know, as I said, I love to hunt, I love to fish, and you know, I own my weapons, and I attend probably all the, you know, sports banquets that we have in town, and even out of my area, because I love the sport. You know, I was just out at with the DNR and Ducks Unlimited. I'm the co-chair of our Sportsman Caucus in Lansing, and was honored by Ducks Unlimited as Legislator of the Year for my advocacy and support for not only the you know, sport of hunting and fishing and taking care of our wetlands. You know, and another thing we just recently did was able to get $10 million for Saginaw Bay, you know, restoration and support, and also Lake Erie. And, you know, that was a big deal. That's because I love the outdoors. I love taking care of our wetlands. We got precious, you know, amenities here in Michigan, unlike any place in the country. Michigan, the Great Lakes. And so, that $10 million is just sort of a say, hey, we want to preserve and do everything we can to take care of our Great Lakes and our Saginaw Bay. I think you're going to have Brian coming on later to talk a little bit more about
the
that.
Headwater Restoration Project.
Yeah. And so, so that's kind of where we are. And, anybody listening today, there's no attempt to prevent us Second Amendment folks, which I am one, from expressing our Second Amendment. That's not the intention.
Let's look at these just for a second, Amos, because background checks, and it's favored by overwhelming majority of Americans. Safe storage should be, safe storage should be a no-brainer. The one that raises concerns for a lot of people are red flag laws because of the potential for misuse. What kind of protections are there in the law to prevent that or punish it if it's done?
Well, just you're missing some stats there. Like under the background check, over 90% of overall Michigan voters support that. 93% of all Republican voters who own guns support that. 91% of all Republican primary voters support it. Storage as well, over 63% of Michigan voters support it. Now, even on the emergency risk protection red flag, 74% of all Michigan voters support that. 67% of all Republican voters support that. Okay, and so I think we just have to make sure we understand those bad guys that, even the folks with mental health, if we have a registry that captures that information, or, that's going to prevent those folks with mental health issues from even getting those weapons. That's the point we want to emphasize and stress, because we know mental health is a major issue here, right? All of the folks that have been involved in in the major of these shootings have had mental health issues.
To me, if you take a gun and you mow people down with it, you have a mental health issue to start with, because normal people don't do that.
Exactly. And that's the case right there. Normal people don't do that. That's the emphasis. Normal people don't do that. And that's our focus. Those folks who are out there with issues, how do we try to just put a dink in the armor here to try to say, okay, let's try to prevent those folks from getting their hands on weapons that can cause major problems like we've seen across the country.
All right. Can you hang on?
Sure.
Go ahead and do one more segment here. We'll be back with more. We are talking to State Representative Amos O'Neal.
A 401k can be an important asset for many Americans' retirements. You've made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years. Tune in Sundays at 8 a.m. on WSGW for your Financial Empower Hour with Jason and Carl Kreiderman from Great Lakes Investment in Midland. They will give you information like how your 401k's tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs. But its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers, the little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today at 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
All right. Let me take a moment here to talk to you about my friends at McDonald Ford in Freeland. And I say friends because I've known the family for 40 plus years. And Tom Jr. and his son, Tom III, run a fabulous Ford dealership. I call it the all-inclusive dealership because it has everything. And when I say it has everything, not only are they a Ford dealership, but their pre-owned vehicles cover all kinds of brands, all late model, all through a 100-point inspection. Now, they also have a fabulous service department, everything from minor repairs to the most major of repairs. Included in their service is the Drive Collision Center for fantastic body work and excellent paint work. And then there's the Quick Change Center for your oil changes and routine service. It's all there in one place. McDonald Ford, Midland Road in Freeland. The other thing, too, is they're a good corporate citizen. What do I mean by that? Oh, recently, McDonald Ford paid off the Freeland High School library debt. You heard me right. They paid it off. That's being a good corporate citizen. So if you want a dealer that not only cares about their community, but cares about you because they are a family and they treat their customers like family members, visit McDonald Ford, 6790 Midland Road in Freeland. You'll be glad you did. We'll be out there on I do believe the 29th is the date for the Freeland Walleye Festival car show, which is going to be at McDonald Ford. We'll tell you more about that as we get a little closer.
We can't see tomorrow, but we can hear it. Tomorrow sounds like hydrogen being added to natural gas to make it more sustainable. It sounds like solar panels generating thousands of megawatts. And it sounds like carbon being captured and stored, keeping it out of our atmosphere. We've been bridging to a sustainable energy future for more than 20 years. Because what we do today helps ensure tomorrow is on. Enbridge. Life takes energy.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Attention business owners. Stop throwing your hard-earned money away on rent. Imagine owning your own building and saving thousands every year. Sound impossible? Not if you use General Steel. General Steel can help you save thousands by owning your own custom-designed building. Just call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-74-STEEL to see how much money you can save with General Steel. Our buildings come with a 50-year warranty, and thousands of companies, from Fortune 500 corporations to startups, have trusted the General with their building needs.
If you need to expand or start a new business, you really need General Steel.
I'm very impressed with General Steel. Everyone's been extremely helpful. I'd recommend General Steel to anyone looking to build a steel building.
Stop wasting money on rent. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-74-STEEL to find out about all our popular quick construction kits, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building. Just call 888-747-8335 now. That's 888-74-STEEL.
The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
And we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. We're talking to State Representative Amos O'Neal. We have a caller, Amos. Greg is with us, has a question for you. Greg, go ahead. You're on with Representative O'Neal.
Good morning, Representative O'Neal.
Good morning.
I have a question. Where have all our mental health facilities gone? We used to have one in Lapeer. We used to have one in Carroll. That's just in my area. Those have been disbanded. Do you think this has an effect on?
Let me hang on a second. I have to ask a question. Has the one in Carroll really been disbanded? I don't think so. Has it?
No. Well, we used to have the Wajamiga over there. You know. But, I mean, our mental health facilities are getting disbanded, and that I'm sure that has a negative effect on how many mental cases we have out there.
Amos?
That are not properly getting addressed.
Yeah. Sir, you're absolutely right. Over the years, and let's see, I go back, I believe that started under Governor Engler, the dismantling of our mental health facilities across the state. And what happened, a lot of our mental health facilities were not able to process and house and take care of those individuals. And what happened, we started seeing our county jails fill up. I think I was on city council at the time, but I remembered that. It was very vivid. And so now I'm on the Department of Health and Human Service committee, and now we're trying to ramp things back up. And that's a hard lift, to try to ramp back up to where we were, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. And so that is a major issue, sir. You are absolutely right. And so now we're facing to trying to support those organizations and give them more capacity to have space for mental health, behavior health, mental health. All of those areas are underserved in terms of having the apparatus to deal with those individuals that deal with those issues. So,
and that's a problem when these people come into the system. You don't have any place to put them that
exactly.
are properly set up to handle their problems.
That is exactly right.
Is this a municipal deal or is it just Michigan deal?
I think Michigan is a major area of lack of support for mental health. And there are other communities around the country that are grappling with this. I would say it's a national issue. I can get some more details for you, but I think it's a national issue, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, $9 billion would go a long ways towards opening those facilities back up and getting them staff.
Certainly part of it would, that's for sure. All right, Greg. Thank
you very much, Art.
Thanks for your call. Bye-bye now.
Yeah. Bye.
That's an interesting question, because we know that many of the crimes that are committed, and particularly some of the heinous shootings that we've seen, I mean, it can almost be said with assuredly that mental health is an issue. Yet we seem to have moved away from facilities to take care of folks who need that kind of help. We are investing, it would appear we're investing anyway, in community mental health, but not facilities in the organizations that handle those problems. Right.
We're really behind the 8 ball with that. I know we're trying to, there's one area, I think it's in Detroit area, we're kind of building up. But even like here in Saginaw County, Great Lakes Bay region, we had we still have, but the facility on Hospital Road.
Yeah, Health Source.
Health Source was a major supporter there, but they're dealing with just individuals with disabilities and older populations, and so they don't have the capacity to provide that service like we had in the past.
Now there's shortages of beds, and there's also a shortage of mental health professionals.
Exactly. And so it's like you dismantle a whole system, and then you have to try to start it back up. That takes time.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're trying to do it on a fast pace, but it's hard. Particularly when you have those professionals are not available. Just in every pipeline of industry.
All right, Amos, let me interrupt for a second. I want to take a break. We'll come back. We got a couple of more calls for you, if you don't mind.
Okay.
And
sure.
we will do that right after these notes.
Here comes summer. Time to hit the beach or beat the heat in the mountains.
We're taking the kids to the beach for the first time. We're so excited.
We're doing whitewater rafting this year. It looks like so much fun.
No matter the destination, MBS International Airport is ready for takeoff. With services through Delta and United Airlines, you will feel upgraded as soon as you walk through the door. Book your flight today at mbsairport.org, and we'll help you make it a summer to remember.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Join us for the Core Ale Rocks pub crawl in Bay City on Thursday, April 20th. Right now, you can secure your seat for half off. It's usually $50, but you are getting yours for $25. We will have 2 limo buses taking us to 5 different bars: Scotty Sandbar, Beer Garden, Cafe 13, Sporty's Wing Shack and Smokehouse Pink Hunting, and Village Inn. There are a limited number of seats, so snag your deal right now. It's at RocketGrabPlus.com.
In front, nice move by Hayes, what a goal! Silky mitts on the doorstep from Hunter Hayes. Hey, Spirit fans, this is Dylan Clark, radio voice of your Saginaw Spirit. After a thrilling Game 7 victory against the Flint Firebirds, the Saginaw Spirit are off to the second round of the OHL playoffs, where they meet the rival Sarnia State. Game 3 is this Tuesday, April 18th at the Dow Event Center. A 7:05 puck drop that you won't want to miss. Tickets went quickly in the first round, so don't wait. Go to SaginawSpirit.com to get yours today.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Sullivan's. You are going to get a $20 gift certificate to Sullivan's for only $10. Half off. Sullivan's has a great selection of burgers to choose from, or maybe you want something lighter. They also have delicious salads, as well as a variety of seafood items to try. Snag your voucher today before they sell out and head to Sullivan's for dinner. It's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the midden.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, WSGW.
All right, and we are back with you here on WSGW, chatting with State Representative Amos O'Neal, and we have some callers waiting. This is Pat in Midland. Pat, you are on with Representative O'Neal. Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Lewis. Hello, Mr. O'Neal. My question would be, is there any safeguards in there to keep the determination of what mental illness is? My example would be, husband and wife have issues and they go to counseling. That gets listed on your medical, whatever. What's to keep the, certain aspects of our government from saying that's considered mental illness and then using that as reason to.
In other words, what are the standards?
Yes, exactly. And what's to prevent anything from being misused?
Amos?
Yeah. Good question. Basically, that has never come up in conversations of like standards. Everybody if you've been married any time, you have just normal disagreements, and you even may have gone to marriage counseling. That I don't consider that as a mental health crisis that would be a red flag or anything. That's just normal life. And so I don't see that being an issue at all, sir, in terms of now here's the difference. If you got domestic violence going on and you have some major issues there and that's a different level of involvement, I would say, that will come in terms of consideration. But just basic marital conversation you have with a professional marriage counselor, you're just talking through things, working out, just understanding, which is normal. I was married for 30 years. In my 30 years, I attended, my wife and I at the time, we had marriage counseling, and work out some differences. And I think a lot of the listeners on this call could say, yeah, that makes sense.
Let me let me ask this, Amos.
Oh, go ahead. I'm
with
sorry.
The,
All right,
with
go
the
ahead.
red flag laws, though, a judge has to sign off on it. If you don't have a judge, can a police officer do it on his own?
Exactly.
No. That's
Okay.
a judge's call, and the judge sets, they enforce the law. And so, a law enforcement officer wouldn't have that authority to come in and say, hey,
give me all your guns. Whoops. Hello. What's that? I don't know what that is. All right. There it goes. It disappeared. All right, Pat.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you for your call. It was a good question. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well.
Thank you. And let's go to Scott in Saginaw. Scott, you're on with Representative Amos O'Neal.
Hey, Amos, how you doing? I have a question comment. I hear a lot from the Democrats about checking the mental stability of people who want to own a gun. I kind of want to turn that around. What about our lawmakers? Shouldn't we know what kind of medication everybody else is on? We have Joe Fetterman, who is gone.
No, that's not a state issue, so we're not going to go there. That's not what we're talking about
but
right
it kind of is. Everybody wants to look into it.
Kind of not.
We have Democrat lawmakers who think men can have babies.
Okay, that's all, Scott. We're not
gun.
talking about that today, so
We're
you can
talking
save
about
that for
guns,
other
Art.
times. Yeah, well,
So we're
then stick
talking about
on the topic.
Okay, let's stick on the topic. Everybody wants to check our mental stability for owning a gun. What about our lawmakers?
Okay,
we have Joe Biden who
all
can't.
right,
who
there you
can't
go.
figure
You're
out
off again.
Okay,
All right,
here
Scott.
we go, Art. Good
Talk
for
to you
Good
later.
for you.
Goodbye. That's all. Scott has plenty of opportunity to call and talk about those things, and he does all the time. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're keeping it in the state, and that's the way it is. And when it's the Scott show, he can do what he wants. All right. So
just to my like-minded Second Amendment colleague, just this basic legislation is just protect Michigan and keep here's another thing we can talk about: keeping illegal guns off our streets to keep our kids safe, and that will help prevent these mass.
Let me ask you a question, Amos. How do you do that? And let me point some things out. There are many areas of this country that have much tougher gun laws than we do, and significantly higher gun crime than we do. It's almost the laws don't seem to do a thing. It's one thing to set up a series of laws that ensure that the person buying a gun has the right to own that gun. It's quite another thing to try and create laws to get rid of street guns that are illegal weapons. How do you do that realistically?
That's a hard one. I mean, it's almost impossible. I didn't say we created a law, but the intent of trying to create safeguards for some basic common sense legislation is what we were attempting to do. Illegal guns are all over, and we know that. And I can't sit here and commonly say I have a panacea to fix that. That's a bigger issue than any legislative body can handle because it's so massive. The key is even like for us in Saginaw County, we have a great relationship with law enforcement and the public. I think the more we can focus on that to get support and bipartisan support on both sides to have that in our communities, that will help reduce a lot of those illegal activities because folks are being able to communicate with our law enforcement partners to say, hey, I know about this is going on over here. Even like Crime Stoppers tips, we're working on a package to support our local Crime Stoppers organizations with resources so they can do more to support our communities. So those are the kind of things I'm thinking about and doing to try to support our law enforcement, like organizations like Bridge the Gap, for example. They do a great job of trying to recruit just young professional kids to be considered and diverse populations to be considered and go through the academy in law enforcement. We got $1 million for them last year to support that apparatus. So I think those are the kind of things I think that make sense, Art, and things that you can really be impactful on. Those are the kind of things we're doing in Lansing. I know I'm doing in Lansing to bring back to our Great Lakes Bay region to support our systems in place right now.
All right, Amos, first of all, thanks for spending the extended time with us this morning. If someone wants more information on what you're up to, how can they find out?
Yeah, you can reach out to my office, my email, Amos O'Neal at house.mi.gov. That's my office email, or you can reach out to my office through a phone, 517-373-0152. That's 517-373-0152. And we can address any questions you may have, or you can send us a letter through the email, and we'll respond. We have a standard that we try to respond within 5 days to any and all constituents with questions, and we try to live up to that.
All right. Amos, have yourself a good day. We'll talk to you down the road.
All right, my friend. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye.
State Representative Amos O'Neal, we thank him for joining us this morning. A 401k can be an important asset for many American retirements. You made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years, even decades. Its tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs, but its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers, the little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today at 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topic should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through the Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan. And we will be back.
History is made and legends are born. The 2023 NFL Draft Watch Party, Thursday, April 27th, Ascend Sportsbook and Lounge at Soaring Eagle. Join Detroit Lions Herman Moore for a Q&A, plus Michigan sports legends and NFL experts breaking down who blew it and who blew it up. Enjoy $2 drafts, half-off wings, swag giveaways, and live music all night long. 2023 NFL Draft Watch Party at Ascend Sportsbook and Lounge at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, official partner of your Detroit Lions.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
We want you to join us on the Core Ale Rocks Pub Crawl in Midland. It's on Thursday, May 11th, and it's only $5. We're taking 2 different limo buses to 5 different bars. 702 Bar, Decker Sports Bar, the Boulevard Lounge, Riders Bar and Grill, and the Auburn Hotel and Tavern. That's only $1 per bar. Make sure you snag your deal right now before they sell out. It's at RocketGrabPlus.com.
The Ramsey Show, weeknights at 10 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Just a sports note for you. Yesterday, I went over to Sarnia for the Saginaw Spirit game. It was an exciting game. They lost in overtime, but it's still, they played Sarnia for the past 2 games. They've actually played them very well. And tomorrow at the Dow is game 3. And let me tell you, the crowd makes a difference. So we'd love to fill it up. So if you have an opportunity, tomorrow night, 7:05 puck drop at the Dow Event Center, game 3 of the second round of playoffs. And plenty of tickets available. Give the Spirit a call or stop into their office on State Street. We're going to take our news break here at the top of the hour, and then we'll be back to talk to Brian Leckel about a restoration project.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com. I'm Deborah Rodriguez. There was another mass shooting in the U.S. over the weekend. This time, 4 people were killed at a Sweet 16 party in Dadeville, Alabama. Right now, hundreds of students from around the country are gathering on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. for a march next hour to demand a federal ban on assault weapons. Kitty Brantner helped organize the protest.
Today, Congress is back in session, and we plan to meet them their first day back with a very strong message that we will no longer tolerate assault weapons in civilian hands in America.
A Black teenager in Kansas City, Missouri, Ralph Yarl, is fighting for his life this morning after he was shot in the head when he rang the wrong doorbell. Correspondent Lilia Luciano.
Yarl was supposed to pick up his younger brothers from a friend's house on 115th Terrace in Kansas City. But she says instead he went to 115th Street where he rang the bell, and that's when police say a man opened fire, shooting him in the head.
Police say the person who pulled the trigger has not been charged so far. A no-go this morning in South Texas for Elon Musk's Starship that aims to take astronauts to the moon and eventually Mars. CBS's Jim Crisula.
SpaceX called off its first attempt to launch its giant 400-foot Starship rocket from South Padre Island, Texas, because of a problem with the first stage booster.
Decision right now is that we are going to stop the launch for today. We're going to transition the launch attempt to a wet dress rehearsal.
No people or satellites were aboard for the launch attempt.
A judge in Delaware has just confirmed Dominion's $1.6 billion trial against Fox News has been delayed until tomorrow. Correspondent Scott McFarlane is at the courthouse.
Fox has claimed Dominion's defamation suit is a political crusade and a threat to the First Amendment. In the court filings, Fox and Dominion are hundreds of millions of dollars apart on just determining the value of Dominion voting systems and the losses incurred.
We've just learned 92-year-old former Cardinal Theodore McCarrick has been charged with 1 count of sex assault related to an incident dating back to 1977. He allegedly fondled a victim while he was staying at the family's home in Geneva Lake, Wisconsin. Volunteers needed everywhere. An AmeriCorps survey finds people signing up to donate their time dropped 7% during the pandemic, and the numbers have not rebounded. Carrie Schulman at Ronald McDonald House in Phoenix.
We are not the only organization who is facing this challenge of bringing volunteers back in. To be able to pinpoint exactly what is causing it, no one can really say.
The Dow is up 23 points. This is CBS News.
Hire with minimal effort and maximum success with Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to GetRefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to GetRefunds.com, GetRefunds.com.
Live From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 36 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. Police in Midland are looking for a suspect in a graffiti case. The Curry Bridge was recently defaced with graffiti, and police are asking for the public's help identifying who may be responsible. Please call 989-839-4713 if you have any information. It's mosquito season in the Great Lakes Bay region. Midland, Bay, and Saginaw counties are starting aerial mosquito treatments this week. Residents may see yellow and white planes operating out of each city's municipal airports, spraying a substance known as BTI. BTI controls spring species of mosquito larvae when applied to flooded or water areas where mosquitoes breed. Bay County is also hosting a scrap tire collection from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on June 3rd at the Bay County Mosquito Control at 810 Livingston Street, and again on August 5th at the Fraser Township Hall. Scrap tires can be breeding grounds for mosquitoes as well. A household can discard up to 10 passenger car and truck tires without rims at no cost. Self-Love Beauty's father-daughter event is less than a month away. WSGW's Lilac Esch explains in this report.
On May 11th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Three Rivers Corporation in Midland, fathers and their daughters can attend the event to take part in activities and projects about confidence. The event is for building bonds between father and daughter through STEM-related activities. Until May 1st, you can get tickets for $25 per adult and $15 per child. From May 1st, the prices will be $30 per adult and $20 per child. Go to Self-Love Beauty's website or contact info@selflovebeauty.com for more information. Lilac Esch News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time, 10:07.
Are you ready for new flooring but not sure you can afford it? Hi, this is Marianne from Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. Get new floors at a price you can afford with Mohawk's Spring National Savings Event. Save up to 30% on select top-quality Mohawk products like Smart Strand and Everstrand carpet. Also choose from some of today's most popular laminate wood and luxury vinyl styles. During Mohawk's Spring National Savings Event, you'll get more floor at prices you can't beat. Warden Interiors on North Main Street in Frankenmuth will help you bring it all together.
We now call to order the meeting of extraordinary heroes. Thunderfoot, here. Mega Maiden.
Let's go.
Wheat Farmer.
Yeah. What am I doing here?
You defeated Evil Dawn and saved your crop quality.
Well, yeah. I used Sphere X fungicide on my wheat and barley.
Keep your secrets, man.
No secret, just best-in-class Dawn reduction.
So modest. A mighty hero indeed.
Be a hero with Sphere X fungicide from BASF.
Always read and follow label directions.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Multiple fire departments worked Sunday morning to put out a 5-alarm fire at an apartment building in Ann Arbor. The apartment building was the Haven of Ann Arbor apartment complex. Smoke could be seen coming from the roof of the 3-story building near Village Green Boulevard and North Dixboro Road. Ann Arbor, Superior Township, and several other departments were swarmed to the scene. No injuries were reported. The fire remains under investigation. If you've been out driving it at all over the past month or so, you know road construction work has been in high gear. This coming week is National Work Zone Awareness Week, which encourages safe driving through highway work zones. Diane Cross from the Michigan Department of Transportation says distracted driving has gotten out of hand.
Our folks are working very often with just barrels separating high-speed traffic, and they've got vests on, and we hope we've got lights and warnings on trucks and things, but still, people are doing almost everything but driving when they're behind the wheel.
Cross goes on to say, in honor of National Work Zone Awareness Week, she's asking people to wear the color orange in solidarity with road workers this upcoming Wednesday. One person has died in connection with a fungal infection outbreak. The local health department has announced one person died from the infection, which caused an Upper Peninsula paper mill to close. The death comes after the announcement that Escanaba Billerud paper mill would close for 3 weeks to allow for additional cleaning. This particular disease, blastomycosis, is caused by infection from a fungus found in decaying wood and soil. More than 90 employees have been affected by the infection. The paper mill is the largest manufacturing employer in Michigan, north of Midland. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
For Monday, a high of 42 degrees, wind chill staying in the 30s with a southwest wind gusting to around 30 through the daytime. We'll see scattered rain and snow showers. We could see some of that snow sticking just on some elevated surfaces, grassy surfaces, but really not looking at anything too notable from the snow. Once we head into tonight, a few more isolated snow showers with a low of 32 degrees and a west wind gusting to 25. On Tuesday, we'll have a high of 45, mainly just the morning mix. Will start to dry out towards the afternoon with a northwest wind gusting to 30. And then on Wednesday, a high of 57 degrees, increasing clouds starting the day mostly sunny before a slight chance of showers in the evening. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Nice to have you with us today. Time permitting, open phones later on. But we're going to start talking about something called the Saginaw River Headwaters Restoration Area. If you like the initials, it's SRHRA. And with us this morning, we say good morning to Brian Lechel. Brian, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you betcha. All right. So tell us let's start with a brief overview of what the Saginaw River Headwaters Restoration Project is and where it is.
Great. Thanks. The Saginaw River Headwaters Rec Area is 334 acres located in the city of Saginaw, right along the Saginaw River in southwest Saginaw, the southwest Saginaw neighborhood. Folks familiar to the area might most recently recognize it or remember it as the Saginaw Malleable Iron Factory, located right there on Center Street in the city of Saginaw. And ultimately, it is a partnership between the Department of Natural Resources and the County of Saginaw to reclaim, reclamate, remediate, and open this land back for passive public recreation in the city of Saginaw.
This land was a factory for decades and decades and decades. What were the contaminants like? How bad was this property before it was restored?
Yeah, I mean, the site has testing and environmental remediation starting back in the, even in the mid 1900s and into the late 1900s, starting with some remediation. In terms of the contaminants present, I mean, just about everything you'd expect. From a former industrial property, also with a rail yard running through it, histories of salt mining and coal mining and other industrial factors on the property. So pretty significant. But as I mentioned before, that remediation began even when GM was still operating there, creating some mitigated wetlands and beginning to clean up the property really with the introduction of the EPA, among others. But especially after the plant was decommissioned and closed, the DEQ at the time, or now Eagle, Department of Energy, Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, came on board to help with those remedial factors. So the 40-acre foundation of former plant footprint, that 40 acres has been completely capped with clay and soil and a planted vegetation barrier to kind of keep some of those elements below grade. And that's been one of the remedial efforts that's taken place over the last 10 years on the site.
So in terms of the site and the public use of the site, nothing the public should be worried about if they traverse that ground?
Yeah, the Eagle and the DEQ, or formerly DEQ, now Eagle, created what are known as site-specific standards for this property and for the recreational use of this property. So this is not a site where we would pull groundwater, for instance, or where we would put a basement and a foundation for an office building or a house or housing. But for passive recreation, to hike or bike through the property, above grade, all those types of things, it has been deemed by Eagle, this site-specific use for recreation, and we call it passive recreation. We mean more hiking, biking, birding, fishing, not the more active or playground side of recreation maybe that we have in some of our other parks with sandboxes and playgrounds and picnic pavilions and those types of things. This is more of a natural site or a natural recreation area, and that's what will be taking place out there.
So who owns it? Is it a state recreation area? Is it a local? What's the structure?
It's a first of its kind for the state of Michigan. The state of Michigan owns the property. The Department of Natural Resources has leased it to Saginaw County for 30 years with 30 years of auto renewing in that lease. So through 2079, this was signed back in 2019 to allow development to begin. But it is a state-owned property, ultimately managed locally by the county. So we, Saginaw County Parks, will operate it in our daily recreation activities and maintenance activities, but it is owned by the state, and they were instrumental in a number of things, including much of the development funding for the property, the creation of trails and signage and parking areas and all those types of things. The state was very instrumental on acquiring that funding.
Am I correct that it's going to require a lot of mowing?
Well, the design is actually very minimal mowing, especially long term. Once we get set up, there is a lot of turf grass out there right now, including outside of the former factory area. But through intentional restoration, where we establish, maybe some no-mow zones, or with pollinator flowers and low-growth clover instead of just standard turf grass, you'll see us mowing less and less, other than the standard maintenance activities like trail edges and things like that will help long term to sustain the trail systems that are out there. But no, only about a couple hours of mowing each week or every other week as it stands.
Will there be any structures on this property? And things like restrooms, for example?
Yeah, so right now there's a Porta-John pad out there. It's not quite open to the public yet, but I'd be excited to talk about that here a little bit later. But there'll be a Porta-John on site for restroom right at the front of near the parking area, and that would be the only formal structure on the site itself. Future, it could turn into maybe more of a vault-style restroom, something a little more semi-permanent, but right now, no structures, just that Porta-John for restrooms.
And you mentioned trails. These are walkable, bikeable trails?
Absolutely. There's a half-mile paved loop, so an asphalt loop, and then the remainder of the trail system, over 2 more miles, are all hard surface, but a aggregate material, so a crushed limestone, essentially, that's been compacted and creates a system of accessible trails out there for pedestrians, for bike, for wheelchairs, walkers, mobility devices, those types of things.
Any charge or permits to use the property?
No charge or permits. It is, again, owned by the state and operated by the county, but there are no gate fees or anything along those lines. Just a great opportunity to interact with nature right in the city of Saginaw. I should have maybe in my description been a little bit more clear. These 334 acres are directly adjacent to the Shiawassee National Wildlife Refuge, to Greenpoint Nature Center, to over 18,000 protected acres that span from here all the way down to St. Charles and just about everywhere east of there up to this property. So it's really the kind of the last stopping point for thousands of migratory birds. There's a great deer population through the site. Literally you can see herds of deer moving around on the property depending on time of day, and a number of other great wildlife that you don't get to see every day, especially in the city.
And even though it has a bike trail, it's not connected to any of the trail system, right?
Not formally connected at this time, but just across the river. So we're on the west bank of the Saginaw River here. On the east bank of the Saginaw River, right across the river from the site, is the city of Saginaw's Wicks Park, which is also the Iron Bell Trail route through Saginaw. So we actually, in development of the parking area, put a connector trail to the Center Street Bridge, which would allow folks that might be biking or walking to connect right to that bridge, which you can then take east and connect into Wicks Park and then jump on that Iron Bell Trail. Or if you're riding the Iron Bell, you could ride off the trail to the west and get into this site and see some really unique opportunities for wildlife viewing, or bring your fishing pole, those kinds of things. So formal connection planned also to the west, to the Saginaw Valley Rail Trail, which ends at Center Road in West Michigan, about 2 miles west of this site.
I know you're involved with the trail system. How are we doing in interconnecting all these trails into one system?
We're doing really great. We're making great progress. The Great Lakes Bay Regional Trail Group is continuing to work quite hard. We're excited to be opening a new 2.5-mile trail segment along the Tittabawassee River between Freeland and Midland. That will open later this year. We're also kicking off a really exciting bridge renovation right in that same area. Bailey Road, or Smith's Crossing Bridge, will be a historic bridge renovation, similar to what took place in Bridgeport, if you're familiar with that one, about 10 years ago. This is a over 200-foot single-span bridge, but a really neat and beautiful pedestrian amenity coming to the area up between Saginaw and Midland counties.
All right. Well, listen, Brian, is the park, when will it open?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Saginaw River Headwaters Rec Area will softly open later this spring. In fact, next Friday. We're excited, and we're referring to it as a soft opening because there are still additional development that is going to take place likely late this summer, early fall. One more round of development, which will help to build observational platforms, connect a couple of trail segments as well. So there is still development to come, but the property as it sits now is ready for public interaction. It's ready for wildlife viewing. It's ready to fish along the banks of the Saginaw River. And so we're excited to open that right before Walleye Opener next weekend.
All right, very good. Brian, we appreciate it. We'll check in with you down the road, see how it's doing.
Thanks so much, Art. Appreciate it.
Have a good day. Bye-bye now.
You too, sir. Take care.
Brian Lechel, we thank you much for telling us about the Saginaw River Headwaters Restoration Program and the recreation area it's created. We'll have open phones for the remainder of the program, and you can give us a call, chat with whatever's on your mind at 989-752-6111. That's our number to call. We'll be back with those calls and more after this.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
When you write a check or pay a bill online and something goes wrong, even the best of us gets rattled. I recently took extra time with a member experiencing that kind of frustration. Gina paid some recurring charges she suspected she no longer owed. I looked far back into her account to get a complete list of her payments. This allowed her to stop payment with confidence. She told me she could not have done it without me.
Treating members like family, going above and beyond to lend a hand when it matters most. That's Wildfire Credit Union. It's what we do every day. Find out for yourself. Call 800-227-2328. Click on wildfirecu.org or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be. Where it's about you, always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks open narrowly mixed. Investors are looking at more earnings and a fresh reading on manufacturing. The New York Fed says factory activity in the region improved this month. Economists were expecting a decline. Alphabet shares are slumping. The New York Times says Samsung may replace Alphabet's Google with Microsoft's Bing as default search engine on its devices. Charles Schwab's earnings top forecast. So did Buffalo-based regional bank M&T, though Boston-based State Street's quarter was disappointing. All three of those stocks are losing ground. Merger news, Merck is buying Prometheus Biosciences for more than $10.5 billion, and Sega Sammy Holdings is buying Rovio. That's the company that makes the Angry Birds video game. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
There are more identity threats than you realize. Even if you monitor your credit, only a little personal info needs to leak out, like your social security number or password,
for you to become a victim.
LifeLock alerts you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated US-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% of their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to lifelock.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right, but right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
It's time to play WSGW's Baseball Bucks, presented by Westside Decorating Center. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering this baseball word online at WSGW.com. The baseball word this hour is away. Tigers are away from Comerica Park. They're playing an away game, AWAY. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Baseball Bucks presented by Westside Decorating Center on WSGW.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9. Right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
Back with you on WSGW, and get to our phones here. We have Jean in Bay City. Jean, good morning to you.
Good morning. I'm going to talk about the mental health situation. My aunt was a school teacher in Santa Monica, California. And at that time, Ronald Reagan, I can't remember if he was governor or president at that time, but he closed a lot of the mental hospitals, and the people were just released. You know, if they had family or whatever or not, they were just released. Well, my aunt used to take the bus back and forth to her teaching job. They had these benches, you know, where people could sit and wait for the bus. Well, it ended up some of these released men would had nothing to do and they would be sitting on the benches. So when she would go to be waiting to get on the bus, here's these mentally off-balance men. And the one day when she came home, one of the guys came walking towards her and was growling and hissing at her, and she was absolutely terrified. And I can remember when she came back to Michigan, how mad she was at Ronald Reagan. You know, he did a lot of good things, but that was a big mistake.
Yeah, but it happened all over the country. It didn't just happen in California.
Well, she was really, really mad at him about that. And here in Bay City, I belong to a real small Presbyterian church. Well, across kind of kitty corner across the street was a big boarding house. Well, there were a lot of these men moved in there, and the one day I'm driving by the church, here's all these men sitting on the church steps with their brown bag with their whiskey, sitting there drunk on the church steps.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, how embarrassing, you know.
Well, maybe they're getting a little closer to God.
Well, I don't know. They had their backs to the church looking out at the road. I don't know, but it was not good.
Yeah.
Not good. And I'd like to just kind of say again, as I said the other day, it just seems like in America, first we're teaching all the children how to run and hide. Now we're teaching the adults how to run and hide. I can't understand why intelligent people that want to go through gun training cannot be carrying a gun in churches and schools and public places like that, because I mean we're letting the criminals and the mentally unbalanced people run the country. I think people need to open their eyes and look at what we're doing or what we're not doing.
Yeah, there are a lot of contradictions, and gun laws are a state by state issue. Every state has its own regulations on concealed carry, where you can carry and where you can't carry. There's a whole list of them in Michigan, as there is in most other states, and it's just so sorry situation. Yeah.
That little children have to be taught to run and hide.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just people need to open their eyes and look at the big picture and do something. Stop talking about it.
It's the world we live in.
Year after year, and do something.
Well, the question: what do you do when you say do something? What should they do?
Well, having gun-free zones sounds like a good thing, but it's a bad thing. Because decent, intelligent, trained people cannot carry a gun in those areas. And that's just an invitation. It's an invitation for somebody to go there and shoot
I hear
people.
you.
Because they the first couple times, if that was changed, the first couple times that somebody broke into a school and were shot,
you think that would be a deterrent.
That would be the end of it, because they would know that they wouldn't get away with what they wanted to do.
Listen, I'm totally agreeing with you, Gene, and I have a CPL. I'm trained in how to use my weapon. I hope I never have to pull my weapon out, but if I do, and the situation calls for it, I also know I wouldn't be afraid to take whatever action necessary. My dad was a federal agent, carried a gun all his life, and hoped and prayed he never had to pull it out of its holster except for target practice. And that's the way most gun owners feel. I don't want to use that gun ever, other than target practice and things I enjoy doing with it. But no one that I know of that carries a CPL is looking to use that weapon.
Of course not. And the other thing that kind of just upsets me is, when I was a kid, we were Democrats. I'm a Democrat. but my dad and his brothers and cousins, all of them were big deer hunters and pheasant hunters. And,
Sure.
and we always had guns in the house. And
Right.
it makes me upset when people say Democrats want to get rid of all the guns. That is not true.
Not anytime you say that about either party, it's not totally true because it's a big brush and it paints too many people. And there are many, I've said this many, many times. There are many, many people who live in the middle. The far left, the far right get all the noise. Most people live in the middle. Some of them have conservative financial ideas and socially liberal ideas. Some are socially conservative and financially liberal, and it's a mix. So anyway, I've got to take a break. But Gene, thanks for your call. I
God bless
appreciate
you.
it.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks, dear.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. We'll be back. Errol, hang on. You'll be next.
Don't just like to lawn, love to lawn with the Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series. Head to Wolfiles Ace Hardware, your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer today, and see how the fastest growing lawn tractor is setting the standard for performance and comfort. Cub Cadet is delivering more strength, more versatility, and more durability in one lineup that now features bold new redesigns of the fully electric XT1 and the dealer exclusive XT2. The XT Enduro Series also offers extra tough fabricated and stamped decks, breakthrough cutting and bagging performance, incredibly responsive handling, and an ergonomically designed operator station with an adjustable seat for incredible comfort, all backed by strong warranties and the genuine parts, accessories, and trained service technicians only Wolfiles can provide. For expert advice, superior service, and exceptional offers, visit Wolfiles Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw, where customer service still exists.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
Dream it, book it, golf it. This season, head to the Island Resort and Casino, your Midwest golf destination, with 2 top-ranked courses in 2022. Sweetgrass, ranked number 10, and Sage Run, ranked number 20. Dramatically different, but equally exceptional. Visit islandresortgolf.com for package details. To book your package, call 877-ISL-GREEN. Stop dreaming of great golf. Start playing it at the Island. Book today for best availability.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
Attention business owners. Stop throwing your hard-earned money away on rent. Imagine owning your own building and saving thousands every year. Sound impossible? Not if you use General Steel. General Steel can help you save thousands by owning your own custom-designed building. Just call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-74-STEEL to see how much money you can save with General Steel. Our buildings come with a 50-year warranty, and thousands of companies, from Fortune 500 corporations to startups, have trusted the General with their building needs.
If you need to expand or start a new business, you really need General Steel.
I'm very impressed with General Steel. Everyone's been extremely helpful. I'd recommend General Steel to anyone looking to build a steel building.
Stop wasting money on rent. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-74-STEEL to find out about all our popular quick construction kits, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building. Just call 888-747-8335 now. That's 888-74-STEEL.
Guys, fellas, men, are you Roman ready for the weekend? Right now, generic Viagra, aka Sildenafil, is just $4 per dose at Roman. Just complete a free online visit with a U.S. licensed healthcare professional. If medication is appropriate, Roman sends what you need in discreet packaging with 2-day shipping. Generic Viagra from $4 at Roman. Go to ro.co/bed. Do it today and get 20% off your entire first order. That's ro.co/bed.
Thank you for being with 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
And we are back here on WSGW, and we'll get back to our phones here. Errol is in Saginaw. Errol, good morning.
It will not be me knocking at your door at 3 o'clock in the morning, sir. Good. You can be guaranteed to that.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay. I'm going to lighten your life up a little bit this morning. Maybe you'll learn something. How many continents do we have?
How many what?
Continents. How many is there?
Two. I seem to remember the number 5, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. But you forgot one. You have forgotten about the missing continent that that's been missing since for 375 years that they just located off the coast of New Zealand. It's called Zealandia, Zelandia.
Oh.
And it's in 6,800 feet of water.
I was going to say, I'm not preparing a tour to go there yet then.
No, not quite yet. Even Rick Mixture's not going there. But anyways, I came across that a couple of days ago looking for something else, and they said that the missing continent has now been found that's been missing for 375 years. So today isn't worthless for you. You learned something.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
If you want a little more information, look it up. We'll talk
And
to you later.
yesterday I spent time in your fatherland.
No, what do you do? Who let you in?
My Nexus card let me in.
You didn't need a passport to get up there?
Nope, I just have my Nexus card.
Oh,
Don't
all
need
you
a
got to do is
passport.
say A. Just say A. They'll let you in.
Oh, okay.
A. Yeah, that works too.
All
Talk to
right.
you, sir.
Take care. Bye now. And we say hello to Carol in Sheridan. Morning, Carol.
Good morning. It's snowing on my daffodils.
Oh.
The golf yesterday was really, really good. That was really fun. We didn't know till the very, very end who was going to win this.
Yep.
That was fun. The Tigers are actually doing better.
I
the
agree.
last couple times. And what I called to tell you, the lady that says she always listens, and I hope she's listening, 104.9 FM is an Elma station. She should be able to
Okay,
get it.
we're not going to promote other stations.
Now listen,
No,
wanted
you listen. I'm telling
She
you.
wanted to hear the Tigers. You can't hear them. I can't hear them at night at all. And the only time I run that station is when we cannot hear your station.
Okay, so it's an Alma station.
It's an Elma station. It's local, and it's 104.9, and they have the Tigers on at night.
I don't know if she'll be able to get them here.
Well, I live in Montcalm County.
I know it. Well, she's the other way. She's up this way, I think.
Well, but she could try it, and it comes in nice and clear. It's the only reason. It's only, and it's the only other FM station I know. It used to be Kalamazoo and other FM stations, and that's the only one that plays them at night.
Yeah.
So it's a real problem if you enjoy them at night.
Well, that's true. And you can't stream
And you
them. We're
can't
not
hear
allowed.
that our TV don't play any. Now, does anybody able to get them on TV?
Yeah, Bailey Sports they're still on TV.
Yeah, but
Bailey Sports is going through. Everybody's afraid because of a bankruptcy that they're going to lose them and it'll only be streamed. Hasn't happened yet, but we don't know.
Well, we used to get them on Fox on
Yeah,
Dish.
yeah.
But now we can't. We
Yeah.
can't hear them
No,
or
it's on
see them at
Bailey,
all.
Bailey Sports. You have to have
Yeah,
Bally
but see-
Sports, I think it is.
But see, they don't carry them on Fox.
Yeah.
So we're completely
You're
the
out.
only thing shut out. So and we miss them.
All right.
We need sports. We need something fun and decent to watch. We
All right,
honest to
Carol.
God, we really, really do.
All right.
Enjoy your day.
You too,
And
dear.
I'm sorry I promoted another
Oh,
station.
no, that's all
but-
right. You know, after I heard what you were saying, that's okay.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
good.
Well, the music is crummy on it. I hate the music. But
Oh, we're going to end right there. All right.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And here's Daryl in Bay City. Daryl, good morning.
Good morning. I tried to get in when you had that gentleman on about hardening the school systems.
Yep.
A few items that you are pointing out with the teachers and carrying the guns. I think that they should have a smock that is bulletproof and of character that discriminates them between good and bad. I think that an air tag should be sewn into them so that they can monitor the locations. I think that
I like that air tag idea because that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, it's absolutely works. And as far as the classrooms, I've said this and I'll say it again. We have school buses with panic doors. Why don't we have a panic window in every classroom that when they lock down the classroom, they can open the panic window, get everybody out of there because it's nothing but a killing zone when they put them in a locked room.
That's an interesting idea too.
They do it on school buses.
Yeah,
okay?
I know it. Every bus, train, they all have breakaway windows to get out.
Yep, absolutely the best way. Get them out like a fire drill.
Interesting idea.
Now, I guess they're having another Capitol walk about the takeaway of guns. 99% of this stuff is copycat. It's wannabe. It's people that like self-gratification that put something weird on the internet and get 10,000 likes and think that, oh my God, now I'm important.
Yep.
And you can't stop that. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Somewhere in high school and grade school, there should be a game developed through the psychiatric people that these kids are available to play with during their lunch hours or whatever, that has a camera, looks at their eyes, looks at the facial features, a game that can somehow determine they have the probabilities of issues.
Well, I think
by
now
eye and facial contact,
I would
they could
say
do that.
I would say in this day and age with artificial intelligence, we're probably getting closer to that.
And it's highly,
All
I
right.
think it's a great way to screen people.
Great. Appreciate it, Daryl. Have a good one.
Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Hank and John, hang on. We'll get to you next right after these notes.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you can start speaking confidently about real-life topics in another language.
Nosotras vamos a México en 2 días y ahora hablamos español. Gracias, Babbel. Sí, muchas gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
Sean Hannity, weekdays at 3 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we are back with you here on WSGW as we continue on with Hank in Quantico. Hank, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. Hey, I've got a couple questions. I would like to ask the rep, but couldn't get through then, but you very well may know the answers. This is on the common sense gun legislation that was just passed. When does that go into effect?
Ooh, well, I don't think it had immediate effect, so probably several months down the road. I'd have to look, though. I don't know for sure.
Well, I don't think it could be immediate because that is.
So I'd have to be built in.
Yeah, my next question was, who's going to do the background check? I don't mean the people buying the gun. I mean, what agency is actually going to run the check?
I'm guessing it's not going to be a state check. I'm guessing that in the same way that if you went in and bought a handgun today, you'd fill out the paperwork. You'd now have to do that for all purchases.
Okay,
and it would go through the same. That's federal.
I think that goes through the FBI.
It's the federal database. Yeah.
Part of it. Yeah. Because I can see real problems with that. I've been involved a little bit in the gun business over the years, and the NICS check isn't the most reliable.
Well, it requires your honesty as the applicant.
Yes. And on top of that, the people running the NICS check have issues sometimes. There's two different outcomes of the NICS check. One is a proceed, and actually there are three different ones. When the NICS check is run, it comes back either with a proceed, a delayed, or denied.
Right.
Of course, denied. No one can buy the gun, and that person will get at least a call, if not a visit, for trying, because if he's denied, he lied on the 4473 form, or there was some other glitch in the system.
And the other thing about it is it amazes me. The last gun I purchased not too long ago, actually, the proceed came back in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, if you do it online, it's faster. They still can use the phone, call in and do it both ways.
I've always, everything I've done, I've filled it out on a tablet, or I filled out the paperwork and they scan the paperwork into the system, and you get your answer back quickly.
Sure, and sometimes though at events like gun show, some of the dealers actually aren't set up with.
Well, that's where they're going to have to be, because that's where this is going to have. I suspect this is where it's going to have significant impact.
Yeah. Well, my question was, who does this? Where do you go?
Yeah.
Two individuals, private individuals. Say you have a gun I want to buy, or I have a gun you want to buy. We're just citizens, and we want to do this transaction. How are we going to do a background check?
Well, I'll tell you, today, for example, if I wanted to sell you one of my guns, we could meet at a federal firearms licensed dealer, and they would perform the transfer, and you'd pay for it.
Yeah, it that runs normally $30
to $40. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I paid $40 for one.
Yeah, individuals cannot do a background check either.
Right.
And dealers are not supposed to do a background check just to see if a person would pass. There has to be an actual transaction.
Well, right. You'd have to have a sale going on, obviously.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
All
okay,
right,
I just
Mark,
look at
Hank,
how
yeah.
we're going to do it. I think it's going to be sort of a mess.
It's going to
but,
be interesting.
Yeah, it will be.
Good enough, Hank.
All righty,
Thanks.
Art.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.
And here is John in Bay City. John, good morning.
Good morning. Nothing about the subject today. I hear you say once in a while that you have a chronological age and a subjective age, but I say the physiological age because that's our internal organs may be younger than the outside, what outside looks like.
That's the same thing. The chronological and the physiology, they're the same. The other one is called a subjective age, and that's what your mind tells you are. In other words, your body may be 80 like mine, but my mind tells me I'm 40 or 45. Well, good luck with that. But that's
my birthday
the
cakes always say I'm 25. Chronological age is a little bit higher.
Happy birthday!
Right.
All right, John.
Next month.
Got to run. Happy birthday, buddy. Take care. Last call is Alex in St. Louis. Got about a minute, Alex. Go ahead.
Hey, Art, here's another angle on the gun control thing. If you notice, they used the language of epidemic with these guns. And I know right now in the World Health Organization that this country is negotiating probably some of our sovereignty away to international people, Art. I mean, people aren't paying attention. They kind of just slip that stuff in there, and next thing you know, well, how did they do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be aware. You got to be aware of it. No doubt about it.
Well, the language is interesting how they use.
Yeah, it certainly is. Language is everything. All right.
Okay.
Good enough, Alex. Thanks a lot. Bye. That's all the time we have for calls today. We thank you very much for your participation. Next hour on Focus, we're going to take a look at Rocket Grab Plus, tell you what's in the store. That'll be coming up after these notes.
Retirement is more than a newly discovered free time. It's a time to reflect on how you'll be remembered and your legacy. It's important to make proper arrangements now. Tune in to WSGW every Sunday at 8 a.m. to your Financial Empower Hour with Jason and Carl Kreiderman from Great Lakes Investment Advisors in Midland. Learn how to structure your retirement savings to increase the value of your estate and help leave the legacy you want. Plus, call Great Lakes Investment Advisors today, and they will include a complimentary Legacy Maximizer at 989-835-7203. That's 989-835-7203. This commercial shall in no way be construed as solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-330-1991. That's 1-800-330-1991. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-330-1991. SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Attention business owners. Stop throwing your hard-earned money away on rent. Imagine owning your own building and saving thousands every year. Sound impossible? Not if you use General Steel. General Steel can help you save thousands by owning your own custom-designed building. Just call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-74-STEEL to see how much money you can save with General Steel. Our buildings come with a 50-year warranty, and thousands of companies, from Fortune 500 corporations to startups, have trusted the General with their building needs.
If you need to expand or start a new business, you really need General Steel.
I'm very impressed with General Steel. Everyone's been extremely helpful. I'd recommend General Steel to anyone looking to build a steel building.
Stop wasting money on rent. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-74-STEEL to find out about all our popular quick construction kits, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building. Just call 888-747-8335 now. That's 888-74-STEEL.
All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for today. Back tomorrow with lots more. Coming up on Focus, we will focus on RocketGrabPlus.com. Tell you all the good things in the store that you can take advantage of. Meantime, stick around for the news. We got CBS News. We have the local report, Michael Purchase, in the WSGW newsroom. And after the news, we'll be back with Focus.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Steve Kaif, and hundreds are on the National Mall in Washington demanding Congress take action to ban assault weapons. 6 in 10 kids in our latest poll say gun violence is their top concern. Kitty Brantner with one of the groups organizing tells CBS News Radio.
There are bills introduced in both the Senate and the House. Both of those are federal bans on assault weapons awaiting a vote. They could be called to a vote at any time, and we are begging for them to do just that.
Still no arrests in Dadeville, Alabama in the mass shooting at a weekend Sweet 16 party. 4 people were killed, more than 20 hurt, most of them teenagers. CBS's Omar Villafranca.
Police have been very tight-lipped about this investigation. There's a lot we do not know. We don't know how many suspects they're looking for. We don't know what kind of gun was used. We don't know the motive, but we're hoping to learn more.
Correspondent Lilia Luciano has more on the shooting death of a black teenager who went to the wrong home in Kansas City to pick up his brothers.
The homeowner who allegedly shot the teen was taken into custody on a 24-hour hold and was released. Police cited the need for further investigation and for a formal statement from the victim as some of the reasons. While the identity of the shooter remains unknown, many in the community worry race may be a factor.
Well, CBS's Stephen Portnoy has more on gunfire near the vice president's residence.
The Secret Service says the single shot was fired at 1:30 in the morning, right near the main gate of the U.S. Naval Observatory. No one was reported to be injured. Vice President Harris was in California at the time, and the Secret Service says it doesn't believe she or the second gentleman were being targeted.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy on Wall Street this morning to lay blame for the showdown over the nation's debt ceiling at the White House.
Without exaggeration, American debt is a ticking time bomb that will detonate unless we take serious, responsible action. Yet, how has President Biden reacted to this issue? He has done nothing.
The administration accuses Republicans of using the debt limit as a bargaining chip to orchestrate deep budget cuts. A big day for this Bostonian running in her first Boston Marathon.
I was very nervous waking up this morning. I'm a little shaky, probably from the coffee too, but I'm very excited, and it's so cool to see all of these people come together.
It's the 127th running of the event, this one 10 years after the deadly marathon bombing. SpaceX called off its first launch attempt of its new giant 400-foot Starship rocket. There was a problem with the first stage booster. Checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 25 points. The S&P is down 2. This is CBS News.
Streamline how you hire with Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
General RV is having a factory direct pricing sale. Factory direct. It's all happening April 19th through the 23rd. We want to make it easy for you to get out camping, so we're rolling back prices. They can't get any lower. That means thousands of dollars in savings on motorhomes, travel trailers, more. General RV is having a factory direct pricing sale. Only at General RV in Birch Run off 5.
Retirement plan.
Income is king because we all need income. And if you don't have an income plan.
Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why pay full price when you know you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out our deals from Bell's Barkery and Boutique, the Highway Brewing Company in West Branch, Bubble Tea Brew House, Daylight Outfitters, Mid-Michigan Garage Door, DJ's Pizzeria in Pinconning, Sungni Fit Club and Martial Arts in Saginaw, and so many more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. It's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift The Eras Tour. Presented by Capital One. Ooh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 37 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. Investigators at Mount Morris are looking into the cause of an explosion which destroyed a pool hall on Saturday night. Fire crews arrived on the scene at the corner of Saginaw and Mount Morris Streets around 11:15 to find old-time billiards demolished and surrounding buildings damaged. Power was cut to at least 2 other businesses in the area. No one was inside the structure at the time of the explosion, and no injuries have been reported. Firefighters were able to get the fire under control in a short amount of time. The intersection will be closed for a day or two as the investigation into the explosion continues. A Flint elementary school was placed on lockdown last Friday when a student brought gun paraphernalia, according to school officials. The officials with Durant-Turry-Mott Elementary released a statement on the incident, saying the student had the item, prompting the lockdown. Law enforcement was called, and it was determined there was no weapon on school grounds. The nature of the item hasn't been made clear, and it isn't known if the scholar will face disciplinary action. The city of Saginaw is asking for volunteers to sign up for the Team Up to Clean Up event on Saturday, May 13th. WSGW's Lilac Esch has the story.
From 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., volunteers will help clean up the city and clear away litter. The first 150 volunteers will receive a free t-shirt, and all participants will be provided refreshments. Saginaw Mayor Brenda Moore hopes people will take a few hours out of their day to help improve the city for everyone. The city is also taking donations to help with the event. RSVP to the event by May 8th. To volunteer or make donations, visit saginaw-mi.com/cleanup. Lilac Esch, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time 11:07.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
History is made and legends are born. The 2023 NFL Draft Watch Party, Thursday, April 27th, Ascend Sportsbook and Lounge at Soaring Eagle. Join Detroit Lions Herman Moore for a Q&A, plus Michigan sports legends and NFL experts breaking down who blew it and who blew it up. Enjoy $2 drafts, half-off wings, swag giveaways, and live music all night long. 2023 NFL Draft Watch Party at Ascend Sportsbook and Lounge at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, official partner of your Detroit Lions.
WSGW News Time 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. Safety in road construction zones is the spotlight as National Work Zone Awareness Week begins today. Diane Cross with the Michigan Department of Transportation says distracted driving and speeding are the 2 main causes of crashes in work zones. Cross says 3 MDOT road workers and 16 other people were killed in work zone crashes last year. People are encouraged to wear orange on Wednesday as a way to bring more attention to work zone safety. As more people flock outdoors to their favorite sports activities, minimizing the risk of injury is all about planning and prevention. So says expert at Henry Ford Health System. Christina Chapitsky, the director of athletic training at Henry Ford, says using a stretching program is beneficial.
Even if you've done some activity during the winter, you're changing your mechanics, you're changing your sport. So it's important, to follow a few simple things, right? So making sure that you have a really good warm up and a good cool down. Even with golfing, we actually recommend a pre-golf stretching program that involves the back.
Weather rose in parts of the Upper Peninsula west of Marquette, where flooding has been taking place due to severe snowmelt. Today, drivers in and around Ironwood and Wakefield are being asked to stay off the road as forecasters have issued a blizzard warning. As much as 17 inches of snow is possible. This comes 2 days after Governor Whitmer declared a state of emergency for Gogebic and Houghton counties. Several roads are closed as a result of the floodings, which isn't expected to ease until next weekend. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 11:10. Now for WNEM First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondreau.
For Monday, a high of 42 degrees, wind chill staying in the 30s with a southwest wind gusting to around 30 through the daytime. We'll see scattered rain and snow showers. We could see some of that snow sticking just on some elevated surfaces, grassy surfaces, but really not looking at anything too notable from the snow. Once we head into tonight, a few more isolated snow showers with a low of 32 degrees and a west wind gusting to 25. On Tuesday, we'll have a high of 45, mainly just the morning mix. Will start to dry out towards the afternoon with a northwest wind gusting to 30. And then on Wednesday, a high of 57 degrees, increasing clouds starting the day mostly sunny before a slight chance of showers in the evening. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondreau.
Currently 39 degrees at WSGW.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is presented by RoofMax. That's RoofMax with 2 X's.
Yes, indeed. Focus is brought to you by RoofMax. You can find out more online at getroofmax.com, as you heard with 2 X's. Or you can call Ben at 989-859-6751. He'd be happy to talk to you about the RoofMax system and how it's the alternative to asphalt shingle roof replacement. For this edition of Focus, we are going to talk about RocketGrabPlus.com. Now, if you have not been a Rocket Grab Plus user, you should sign up for it. You go to RocketGrabPlus.com and spell out the word plus, P-L-U-S. All you have to do is put in very basic information. You do not have to provide any credit card or financial information at all. The only time you have to do that is if you choose to buy one of these certificates offered on Rocket Grab Plus, where you save at least 50%. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look at a couple of the items and you'll get the idea. And I will tell you right now, this one sells out. It is a $20 certificate for only $10 to Sullivan's Food and Spirit on Gratiot. Sullivan's Foods and Spirit, located on Gratiot in Saginaw, offering this stellar deal to you for only $10. You get a $20 certificate to spend at Sullivan's. They have a great selection of burgers to choose from, delicious salads, a variety of seafood items, steaks, you name it. Grab your voucher today, head to Sullivan's for dinner, and take a look at all the wonderful things they have. And don't forget, they're famous for their fish on Wednesdays. Absolutely out of this world. $20 gift certificate for only $10 to Sullivan's. But don't wait, because as I said, it will sell out. It always does. Continuing on in the food vein, sort of. Here is a Core Ale Rocks pub crawl. Now, Core, first of all, is our sister station, 106.3. And what this is a $10 gift certificate for only $5. It's half off on a seat on the Core Ale Rocks Pub Crawl, Midland, Thursday, May 11th. Core 106.3 will have 5 bars participating. There'll be 2 limo buses carrying 40 people total to each location. The limo buses will spend 45 minutes at each location, plus an average of 15 minutes drive time between the bars. The date of the pub crawl is Thursday, May 11th. Each business will hand out 1 sample of 106.3 Core Ale Rocks and a sample of a signature drink or food. And there will be a drawing at the last location of the night at the Auburn Hotel and Tavern to give away a prize from each location. You'll all have a punch card where each location will mark off where you've been once you've redeemed their samples. Stop 1 is the 702 bar. Stop 2 is the Decker's Sports Bar. Stop 3 will be the Boulevard Lounge. Stop 4 is Riders Bar and Grill. And stop 5, the Auburn Hotel and Tavern. And this certificate is good on May 11th of this year. And what a fun trip. Half off on the seat of the Core Ale Rocks Pub Crawl. $10 certificate for only $5. Get you on that bus and get you all those samples. All right. That's the way Rocket Grab Plus works. Here's half off of a neck firming treatment at Blossom Spa and Boutique. It is a $60 value. It's yours for only $30. And here's half off of 1 basic facial at Blossoms. Normally $50. Only $25. Now, I mentioned the Core Ale Rocks Pub Crawl in Midland. They are also doing one in Bay City. It's a little bit different. It's a $50 value for $25. And again, they will be making stops at a number of places. And those include Scotty's Sandbar, the Beer Garden, Cafe 1-3, the original Sporty's Wing Shack and Smokehouse in Pinconning, and the Village Inn in Linwood. And again, this one is for just a moment here. What is today's date? Yes, it is for this week, Thursday, April 20th. And it's a $50 certificate for $25 for the Core Ale Rocks Pub Crawl in Bay City. There you go. Another opportunity for you. Here's 50% off a CPL class from Applied Training Solutions. And of course, if you want to carry concealed in Michigan, you must have a CPL. You must also, by the way, be 21 years or older to take the course. It's a $150 value for $75 from Applied Training Solutions in the Midland Mall. So if you've wanted to get a CPL and you need to have that training certificate that certifies you've gone through the process, Applied Training Solutions would be the way to go. We'll take a break and we will be back with more after these notes.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Save big on all replacement door and window screens from AdForce. They're durable, easy to install, and offer great protection from pet damage. Right now, pick up a roll of pet-resistant screen for only $9.99 after 11% off. Start your next project today at Menards. Savings are a mail-in rebate good through April 23rd. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, I'm Jim Blau, owner of Mid-Michigan Canine Academy.
As most of you know already, our Redemption Crew has the most effective dog training methods in Michigan, transforming hundreds of dogs and families' lives each year. But you may not know about our premier boarding, day camp, and grooming services. Aren't you tired of booking out for weeks to get your dog cleaned, clipped, and looking sharp? We're taking on new clients, have immediate availabilities, even on Sundays. Book online at mid-michigancanineacademy.com. That's mid-michigancanineacademy.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
And it's time to play WSGW's Baseball Bucks, presented by Westside Decorating Center. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering this baseball word online at WSGW.com. The word this hour is catcher. The pitcher throws the ball to the catcher, CATCHER. Alpha Media company-wide contest must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Baseball Bucks, presented by Westside Decorating Center on WSGW.
You are with WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW as we finish up looking at some of the items. And by the way, it's not all of the items. We're just going through some of them that are available on RocketGrabPlus.com. For example, here is a half-off $20 gift certificate to Pizza Dude in Pinconning for only $10. Pizza Dude is a family-owned business, and their goal is to provide top-quality meals at a reasonable price in a casual environment. And you get a $20 gift certificate, again, for only $10. They operate their restaurants with integrity and respect, and they do it in a personal way. Their mission is to combine gourmet flavors with the perfect balance of indulgence and nutrition so guests can enjoy Pizza Dude in a way that fits their mood and style. You'll find the perfect fit on their expansive menu that includes specialty pizzas, salads, grinders, and more. By the way, they even feature a monster pizza that's 2 feet wide. Wow. Well, you get half off a $20 gift certificate for only $10 to Pizza Dude in Pinconning. I love the name of the place. Pizza Dude. Just rolls off the tongue. Kind of like that. 'Tis the season. We'll be ready to open soon here. Frankenmuth Aerial Park back with us on Focus on Rocket Grab Plus. Here is half off an adventure for one person at the Frankenmuth Aerial Park. It's a 2-hour session, a $43 value. Excuse me. My allergies are catching up with me. A $43 value for only $21.50 for the adventure in Frankenmuth Aerial Park. If you're not familiar with it, Frankenmuth Aerial Park welcomes you to try their rope courses and their zip lines. They have many trails for beginners, intermediate, and advanced. And typically in the 2-hour session, depending on the trails you select, you can complete 2 to 4 trails during the session. It's a combination of rope courses and zip lines for family entertainment. The Frankenmuth Aerial Park, admission for one for 2 hours, any day of the week, by the way, or weekend. It's $43. Yours for only $21.50. You save, of course, half off. You get the idea that you're going to save half off when you go to rocketgrabplus.com. You should. Here's another pizza deal for you. This is half off a $20 gift certificate for $10 to PJ's Pizzeria in Pinconning. And again, they have famous stromboli, amazing pizzas, incredible power nuggets, grinder sandwiches, chicken wings, delicious garlic nuts, and everyone's favorite breadsticks. PJ's, a $20 gift certificate for only $10. Again, what do? You save half. Find out all those deals and more online at rocketgrabplus.com. Sign up for weekly notifications when new deals hit. You'll be the first to know. Take our last break and come back and close out.
Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler, host of the Money Pit Home Improvement Show. If you think you need a new roof, think again. You can avoid replacement and save thousands with RoofMax, the world's first roof rejuvenation treatment. RoofMax is a safe, easy, and affordable alternative to costly asphalt.